What's up, BookTube? Back with another weekly update. I have not done these in a while. I've been quite busy as of late. So I've just been kind of doing like reviews and little things along those lines. I know I've got a Between Two Fires review I have to do. And I want to do the third review for the Bloodsworn trilogy, for the third book of that series as well. I'm kind of iffy about whether or not I'm going to do one over Murderbot or if I'll just talk about it here overall. But here I am. What have I been reading? Well, let's start off with probably my second favorite read of this month, and it's one that I've complained about relentlessly. And the reason why I complain about this is because I do care about this series. I do care about this trilogy. I think it is one of the most immersive, amazing world that I've ever experienced and I've ever been in. I remember these characters. I love a lot of these characters. What holds me back? Now, I don't have as much of a problem with the cringiness in the second book as what I do the first book. And my cringiness, I mean, kind of weird sexual scenes in it, a bit weird. Not really one of those type of people that really enjoys reading that stuff. If that's your thing, all power to you. It's just not my go-to thing. Another thing is cringy dialogue. A lot of the dialogue obviously still feels like it's something that maybe an 8th grader would be talking and saying, not necessarily something that a grown writer would be spouting out. It tries to be a little too edgy. I don't like edgy too much. Sometimes it works. Majority of the time it doesn't. And unfortunately, Empire of the Damned still has a little bit of that in it. But where does Empire of the Damned go wrong in a lot of ways? And if you've noticed, I love talking about the bad more than I like talking about the good. Because really, the only good that I can find, but it's so amazing that it still makes it a 4-star read, is the world. And I do like Gabriel De Leon. I do enjoy that. I enjoy kind of the way this story is it's almost kind of like Interview of a Vampire. You know those kind of world, and how you're just kind of placed in it. And, you're being told something is kind of like Sun Eater. I enjoy that aspect of it, but the one thing that just takes me out of it, and it's like sometimes this world feels so much like Twilight for adults. Truly does. Like, the vampires are less scary and more sexual. They are more like 50 Shades of Grey type vampires more than they are like Dracula. It's like I mentioned in my previous video when it comes to Empire of the Damned, or just novels in general when it comes to vampires. There's a difference between sexualization and seduction. Seduction makes characters mysterious. Sexualization makes vampires perverts. And that's a lot of the way this kind of feels in a lot of different ways. I specifically don't enjoy that aspect of it, which is very disappointing for this world, because that's what we've got recently in this. I kind of felt like the first book did a better job of making the vampires, like when Gabriel De Leon is being hunted with Dior, and you really kind of feel like, oh crap, like this Prince of the Night is going to come and kill us at any moment. We got to run. We're in constant fear. Worked out great. This one kind of just feels like we're with the Divox, and they're just a bunch of sexual miscreants in a lot of different ways, and I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of disappointing. And as far as Dior is concerned, when it comes to this, she's been my biggest disappointment so far in this second book. I love the banter between her and Gabriel in the first book. I thought they kind of built up a great bond. This one has been not so good about that. And and there is parts of it where that they've been separated. So maybe it's kind of like when Princess Donut and Carl in Dungeon Crawler Carl are separated. Like the book's just not as good. Let's just put it that way. It's just not as good, and that's the way it kind of feels with this to a certain extent. And another problem that I also have with this book is Gabriel De Leon. Okay, he was the Devil May Care like character. He was the character that he was single focused revenge from the death of my family. I'm going to kill anybody and everything that gets in my way. And he literally has a phrase in there. I will die on the heel of my friends. I will, or for my friends. So he's willing, and there's so many side quests, there's so many things that he's distracted from his main purpose. And I don't know if I like this new Gabriel. Like, I guess what I actually kind of enjoyed about him was he was a jerk. He was a horrible person, and maybe that had like a heart somewhere deep down in there, but he never really showed it. He's like the anti-hero, and now he's just a full-fledged hero that goes around just saving the day for anybody and everybody. And his friends are literally the hill that he will die on. But it's so YA and so cringy in that regard that I was like, I didn't enjoy that aspect of it. But overall, the world still captivates me, and so far, this is still a 4-star read. Now, as for me, this is a book that is a disappointment, a step down from the previous one. But now that I'm about 65% through, so I should be able to get done with this by the end of this month, it's an easy read. I don't mind reading this book. I've never really got to a point in it where I'm like, all right, I can't stand this part. Like I was kind of with the first one to a certain extent, so it's better in that regard. I don't know if I like the second POV, though. I kind of feel like that's a step down to a certain point that kind of takes away from the story a little bit. But overall, Empire of the Damned, Jay Kristoff, really, truly, as much as I complain about the stupid things that I think you do in these books, I actually really enjoy the world so much. I think you're a great author. I think you have built a captivating world, second to almost none. Put you up there with George R. R. Martin when it comes to that. Really, truly do. Just wish your dialogue was better. That's all. I just wish your dialogue was better. Now, another one that I've been trying to get to for months, well, really, the better part of a year and a half since I've got into fantasy, is the Jade, what is it, Jade City? I don't even know what the name of this series is, but not Jade Chronicles. But the first book in this, Jade City, it's pretty good. It's really good. Like this is another book I have less problems with this book, obviously, than what I did with Empire of the Damned. Simply because I love the family dynamic. I love kind of the way Jade is incorporated into the story. I love the mafia-like feel to it and the gang wars, and just really have enjoyed every aspect of this. Like, I mean, there's some shocking moments in it. I have really nothing bad to say about it. I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoy the family dynamics of it. I think this overall is a fantastic book. Now I'm listening to this book on audio on Audible, and I don't know if I should read it because I'm digesting a lot of this book and I'm kind of enjoying it this way through the Audible version. Now the audio, reading it on like Kindle might give me a different feel, and I really just don't want to break the immersion that I'm getting with this book. But I'm loving my time with it. I truly, truly am loving my time with this book. So, hey, Fonda Lee, I will definitely be I'm going right straight to this, to your second one. And anything by Fonda Lee, I feel like this is an author that I can trust now. I love the worlds that she creates. I love the characters she creates. I love the dialogue that she creates. I love everything about it. I think she's a fantastic author, and I'm glad that I finally gave this book a chance. Because I'll admit, usually YouTube darlings or BookTube darlings are usually not as good. They're very disappointing in a lot of ways, but this is one that actually lives up to the hype, I think. So as far as the next book I am concerned, Queen Amid Ashes. Now this is a Sun Eater novella, and I am reading this along with Demon in White, the third book of the series. Now this takes place between book 2 and book 3. I'm loving this book. Absolutely loving this book. It's not overly action-packed, but it's kind of got a mystery to it that you don't really know. You're thrown upon this world of Thagura, and, you know, you got these Cielsen, and they've attacked this, and, you know, the cities have died, and you're trying to figure out, you know, who's responsible for this. Like, is it just a Cielsen, or is there more to this story than has been led on? And it kind of takes you through this little mystery aspect of it. It's a very short book. I've been kind of taking my time with it, but I will admit I have really enjoyed my time with this. I've enjoyed my time with the villains of this. I've enjoyed my time with the heroes in this. To a certain extent, a lot more than I've enjoyed Demon in White. I'm about 150 pages in Demon in White. I'm almost literally, I'll be done with Queen Amid Ashes by the end of this week. But overall, I think this is a great novella. I'm glad that I gave this a shot. It's great off of the second book, which was, to me, an all-time fantastic book. So this one doesn't disappoint. It's really good. It's something that I personally would pick up and read again, which I don't do that very often, especially in novellas. Like, this is definitely one of the better novellas that I've ever read in my life. So, you know, Christopher Ruocchio, Ruocchio, I can't pronounce your name. I'm not good at names. You've won me over with this one. Unfortunately, Demon in White. Now, this is where Hype Train maybe has ruined me to a certain extent. Like I said, I'm about 150, 160 pages into Demon in White. I'm not personally enjoying my time with this. I don't know if it's a slow burn. You want to know what's really truly bothering me? And this is the first time it's really bothered me in this series, is their travel style. Because their travel style takes so long to get from place to place to place, that it's just kind of like, wow, we'll get here in 14 years. And no one, you know, there's one like aspect of it where this guy's like, well, most of the crew members won't even ever go home, see their homes again, because why would they see their homes? They'll have like great grandchildren or great great grandchildren, and everyone that they know is dead. And I'm just like, wow, that kind of hits hard and kind of makes this kind of realistic world about, you know, traveling through space kind of feel stupid in a way, because it makes, you know, for regular people, unless you're Palatine, really a dumb thing to do. It truly is. Like, when you go, it's almost like a death sentence. Like, you spend most of your time in hibernation in this cryonic stage, and it for some reason that bothers me, especially in this book, because they're like, all right, you know, the Emperor goes and sends them on a mission to go find this ship and this possible wreckage, find out what happened to it, and they're like, well, all right, well, we'll be back in like 14 years. I'm like, wow, that is crazy. Now, another thing that is kind of bothered me with this Demon in White is I thought we would spend more time with the Emperor in it. Like, maybe I thought it was going to be like Howling Dark, where it was, where that we got to spend a lot of time, in the sanctuary of the main villain, which I thought was so fun to get to do. On this, we're there, and then we take off, and then we're at this other world, and then we're take off again, and I'm just kind of like not really liking that. Another one is like he's kind of apprenticing the emperor's 14th son, and I'm not liking him, Alexander. I'm not liking him at all. Like, maybe I would enjoy his character more, but again, this goes with age, with the Palatine thing, is he acts like a teenager, but he's 30 years old, and it's like Hadrian is always having to tell people, hey, give him a break, he's just a kid. And I'm thinking, he's 30 years old. Like, what a loser. Like, that's the way it kind of feels to me. So I'm like, I'm not enjoying that aspect of it. I'm hoping that this book will change. People say that this is probably one of the best books in Sun Eater. So far, I'm not feeling it. And I'll admit, like, I thought the second book had turned me around on this series. I'm enjoying the novella. And so I'm just kind of disappointed with my time in Demon in White so far. Still got 600 pages to go. So, it's got room to improve, but it's going to be hard for me to get the first 150, 160 pages out of my brain, because I don't want these Sanderson lanches or whatever they're called, where it sucks, and then it's really great at the end. That's kind of the way the first book was for me. It's like it was just terrible all the way through, and then at the end, it kind of had a really cool ending, and I was like, all right, that's enough maybe to move to the second book of this. I don't want that again. I don't like books that are that way. It makes you forget all the terrible things that came before. And no, I don't feel like I want to read 700 pages worth of a book that is terrible. And so this one's kind of got me a little shaky, I'll admit. It's got me a little shaky. I don't know how I'm going to make it through it. I hate reading it every day. I'll admit, I just dread reading this book in a lot of ways. I hope that changes in the near future. Now, as far as a book that I just literally finished, that is another BookTube darling, Murderbot, All Systems Red. Now, this is the first book of the series. It's very, very short. It did not take me but maybe 2-3 days, and I really just kind of took my time with this book. But I'm not going to say I loved it, but I didn't hate it. It's kind of like a 3-star read for me. I really enjoy the Murderbot's personality. I enjoy the way he thinks. I enjoy kind of like the sentient aspect of him compared to the robotic aspect. I enjoy the shyness that he has. Kind of like the rebel, kind of the way he goes about, looking at humans and trying to hide behind his mask, and, them kind of feeling awkward towards him in a lot of ways. But him just being human in a lot of different ways, I thought was very intriguing. Where I personally had a trouble with this book is it kind of just throws you into the fire a little bit, where it's during a mission, and I thought, all right, at the beginning of this book, we're gonna be on this little mission, something's gonna go wrong, and then we'll move on to the real crux of the matter. No, we stay on that the whole time. And we stay on characters, the human characters, a lot of them are very forgettable. And the storyline is kind of forgettable. The thing that really just kind of drives the story is Murderbot. Like, he is the character that drives the story. He makes the story interesting and fascinating, not necessarily the world. And as for me, I am not necessarily a character driven. Worlds intrigue me and get me into things, so I don't know exactly how I feel towards that. But I would say it is probably a 3-star read for me. I don't know if I'm going to do like a full review of this, but as far as how I'm feeling on it, I'm definitely going to be moving on to the second book. And, who knows? It's a lot bigger. We'll get more story. We'll get more interaction. And who knows? I might really fall in love with a lot of these other human characters. And I might really enjoy the world around this once we're kind of into this, because it does feel like a really fascinating world. So I am enjoying my time with it. Now, as far as the last book, and I'm just going to touch briefly upon this, The Fury of the Gods. Now, this is a book that I finished about a week ago. And it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I will be doing a full review over this. But I just wanted to kind of just touch on it just briefly. This was a book that I kind of hated to finish. Not because it wasn't good, but because I was going to miss a lot of the characters of it. And those characters have stuck with me. And it seems like I didn't want to do a review of this book right as soon as I finished it. I wanted it to kind of dwell in my mind a little bit so that I could see if maybe it percolates a little bit of intrigue still with me. And the more I dwell on it, the more I'm like, it was really good. It was really good. Was it perfect? No. I still think the second book was probably the best one in the series. And then maybe the third one, and then the first one. But overall, this was a very amazing series, and John Gwynne, you'll forever have a fan in me when it comes to this. And so I just wanted to briefly touch on that. This is definitely one, the more I've gone into it, that I've just or thought about it, that I'm like, yeah, I've got to create a full review over this, because I just love talking about this book. I love talking about this world. It's just an amazing Norse trilogy. And, and it's a trilogy, and like I made before, bring back the trilogy. Tired of these 7-book series. I want just a clear trilogy. You don't have to make them 700 pages either. 500 is fair enough for me. But this overall, great book, great read. So, overall, that's kind of where I've been standing. That's where I'm at. 7 days into May, and hopefully I'll be done with some of these other books by the next time I speak to you, at least about these books. But do look for a review of Fury of the Gods. That's going to come out, and then I'm also going to do one of another book or two, I would say, that I've read over time. But as always, guys, thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all take care.